is that pursuant to the laws of this state, pursuant to the law in California, Nick Reiner is not guilty of murder. Print that. Print that. We wish him the very, very best moving forward.
Celebrity defense attorney Alan Jackson, best known for handling high-profile criminal cases, is speaking out, and he's standing firm. Jackson says he still believes his former client, Nick Reiner, is not guilty of murder, despite being charged in the deaths of his parents, Rob and Michelle Reiner. Speaking on Jesse Weber Live, Jackson said his belief has only strengthened with time. "I will stick by that," Jackson said on the program, according to Law and Crime Network. "I stand by it. I still believe it. I believed it then. I believe it now."
As you know, my name is Alan Jackson. This morning, I had to withdraw as Nick Reiner's counsel. Circumstances beyond our control, but more importantly, circumstances beyond Nick's control, have dictated that sadly, it's made it impossible for us to continue our representation of Nick. I'm legally and I'm ethically prohibited from explaining all the reasons why. I know that's a question on everybody's mind. We expect the public defender to step in. They've already been appointed and very capably protect Nick Reiner's interests as he moves forward through the system. But be clear, be very, very clear about this. My team and I remain deeply, deeply committed to Nick Reiner and to his best interests. In fact, we know, we're not just convinced, we know that the legal process will reveal the true facts of the circumstances surrounding this case, Nick's case. You know, a lot's been printed of late, over the last 3 weeks. A lot has been printed. Printed about Nick, printed about his family, printed about the circumstances. Speculation is in print. On December 15th, in the early morning hours, I was in New York at the time, and I got a call. Me and my team, we dropped everything. And for the last 3 weeks, we have devoted literally every waking hour to protecting Nick and his interests. We've investigated this matter top to bottom, back to front. What we've learned, and you can take this to the bank, is that pursuant to the laws of this state, pursuant to the law in California, Nick Reiner is not guilty of murder. Print that. Print that. We wish him the very, very best moving forward.
Alan Jackson emphasized that under the laws of the state, he does not believe the evidence supports a murder conviction, adding that every passing day reinforces that conclusion. The comments come just days after Jackson formally withdrew as Nick Reiner's attorney following the postponement of his client's arraignment. Jackson revealed that his legal team spent literally every waking hour over 3 weeks investigating the case, reviewing evidence, and working to prove Nick Reiner's innocence, as cited during his appearance on Jesse Weber Live. While Jackson has not publicly disclosed why he stepped away from the defense, he did shut down speculation about money. Speaking separately on Billy Bush's Hot Mic podcast, Jackson made clear that finances played no role in his decision to leave the case, fueling further curiosity about what prompted the move, according to Hot Mic with Billy Bush. Alan Jackson also addressed a haunting question: could this tragedy have been prevented? His answer was unequivocal: yes. Jackson pointed directly to mental health, saying the system failed long before the killings occurred. Nick Reiner's mental health history has been a central focus since charges were filed, a detail highlighted across court filings and discussed publicly by Jackson, per Law and Crime coverage. "There's a lot to uncover," Jackson said, describing the case as layered and complex. He criticized the broader mental health industry in the United States, suggesting systemic shortcomings may have contributed to the fatal outcome. Jackson framed the case not just as a criminal matter, but as a cautionary tale about missed warning signs and lack of intervention. Nick Reiner is currently scheduled to be arraigned on February 23rd, a hearing that could mark the next major turning point in the case. As prosecutors move forward, Jackson says he hopes the justice system ultimately reaches the same conclusion he has, that under the law, Nick Reiner is not guilty of murder. For now, Jackson may be off the case, but not off the record. His words add another layer of controversy to an already emotionally charged case, one that continues to raise difficult questions about accountability, mental health, and justice. And as the court date approaches, all eyes remain on what comes next.